What is up? Welcome to another episode of Godhand Radio Season 2. Today is going to be a little bit different. I sit down with my good friend Katie Izard to talk about writing, of all things. We here at Godhand are all about the arts. Writing is definitely included, and we talk a little bit about what it is that inspires her and, just a little bit about her passions and things like that. It's a really, really dope interview. Stay tuned to the end. We have a couple of announcements for you guys, some stuff you do not want to miss out on. So without further ado, let's hop into this interview. Sorry, are you going to say words or no?
Oh, okay. You're not going to speak?
No, I was going to speak, but I just like catching people off guard. It kind of just breaks the tension a little bit.
Why would there be tension?
I don't know. Like, there's always, every time I've done an interview, it's always, super weird at the very beginning until people start talking. So.
Okay, well, I have a mint in my mouth, so.
A mint? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Well, I guess I have to fill the space until the mint is gone. So, hello, people. If you're watching this episode, I feel like you probably already know what's going on at this point, because this is, episode 4 or 5 of, season 2. So, I feel like most people don't start in the middle of season 2. But, what's up, guys? If you don't know who I am, I have no idea why you're listening to this. But, I'm Kyle, and today on the show, I have a very, very special friend of mine. You want to introduce yourself? You don't want to introduce yourself? Okay. Well, this is Katie.
Hi.
So, what is it that you do?
The shit that I do, I have mental breakdowns.
Okay.
And I write about them.
You write about them? Okay.
I'm kidding.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
Wait, about which part?
I don't have mental breakdowns, but I am a writer.
You're a writer?
Yes.
Is there a specific place people can find your writing?
Well, I interned for the Odyssey.
Okay.
And I have my own literary blog.
Nice. That's the Charlotte Odyssey, right?
No.
Not the Charlotte Odyssey?
It's just a website for, college
okay.
things.
Because I saw an article
yeah.
that got posted when that one guy from The Apprentice came to our school. Donald Trump.
Oh, right.
When he came,
mm-hmm.
someone wrote an article and they interviewed a couple people
mm-hmm.
here, and they posted it, and it was on the Charlotte Odyssey. So whatever someone says, the Odyssey.
That's probably Josh Fisher, who's amazing. Whatever.
Yeah, actually, it was Josh Fisher because I ended up following him on Twitter because of that.
Yeah,
because he shared it.
What I write for.
That's not what you write for.
Too fancy for me.
It's too fancy.
Now. No,
okay.
I have too much school to be focusing on that. I just do. It's basically a BuzzFeed kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you make lists, or do you actually write about real things?
I try not to make lists.
Top 10 reasons why you should wake up in the morning.
Oh, you should wake up in the morning, but I don't write about it.
You don't write about it? All right, cool. So what do you write about then?
I write about whatever interests me, whatever is really easy for me to write. Recently, I wrote an article about my friend Albrea.
I did read that one.
That one?
Cool.
Yeah, she is a Gossip Girl fan, and we watched Daredevil for the first time, and that was really cool. Just your reaction to it.
Was it what you expected?
Yeah, she did not pay much attention. So.
But I feel like Daredevil does a good job of holding an audience member's attention. So why do you think?
It doesn't really matter what we're watching. She doesn't pay attention.
I feel like
usually,
I don't know how accurate. Well, actually no, because we were watching. What was it? What was that K-drama we were watching that one time?
Boys Over Flowers.
Boys Over Flowers. We were watching that one, and she just left the room.
Yeah.
And halfway through, we look up and she's gone, and we call for her, and she opens the door, and she's FaceTiming someone on the floor
Her
outside.
Boyfriend.
Oh yeah, it was.
So she has people to talk about.
Oh, true.
To talk to. So.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then I wrote my most successful one so far has been I don't even remember because
you don't remember which ones your most. Are they all just so successful that you can't keep track of which ones?
No,
are most
they're
successful?
not usually successful because they don't make lists. People really like lists.
Sure. I feel like people are moving away from that as far as content goes, just because between BuzzFeed and
Mhm.
BuzzFeed imitators, I feel like there are so many people making lists on the internet. at this
Because
point.
basically, when you read an article on the internet, you're not there to learn. Like, it's not really there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of reading it just for entertainment value. Like, you're maybe
True.
sitting on the toilet, or you're waiting for something to pass. Like,
Yeah.
which
like-
you could still be on the toilet.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, it's probably also toilet, but yeah.
Yeah. So you have like a short amount of time to attract someone's attention. So
All right. So if a company approached you and were like, "Hey, we like your writing, come write for us," and then halfway through they were like, "We like what you're doing, but we
Mhm.
need you to make more lists," would you make the lists, or would you not? Or would you like quit?
Honestly, if this was me like a few years ago, if I was young and naive, I would be like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing. But right now, you need to start from somewhere, and there's
True.
like a lot of young artists today are too prideful with their work, and they're like, no, I'm
Sure.
not gonna ruin the integrity of my work.
Not gonna
Which is
compromise.
kind of noble, but at the same time,
You gotta live.
you gotta learn too. And
Yeah.
You gotta make connections.
Definitely.
So do what you gotta do.
Really? All right, cool. So you're talking about when you were younger. What kind of got you into, writing?
Well, when I was younger, I didn't go out as much, mainly because I didn't really like people.
True. I feel like that might be a little more accurate today than it was.
I think when I was younger, I had more of a social life than I do now. But when I was younger, I kind of imagined different worlds, and like I would fantasize a lot, and I would write these fantasies down, and I realized that I would make these really intricate stories about these things, and my mom would read them, and she'd be like, Katie, you got something going on here. So
Alright.
it sort of sparked. I had a vast imagination that I liked to write.
You say had. Do you not have that vast imagination anymore?
No, I'm dead. No.
Aw. Well,
no, I still have it. It's
R.I.P.
just
Katie.
not being utilized as much because of school.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you feel like once you get past this stage of life, or maybe not even fully past it, but once you, I don't want to say mature, but once you get past where you are currently, do you think that the sort of imaginative style of writing is going to come back?
I mean, it's still there. I just don't have time to, indulge upon it. But
Okay.
I don't think that once I graduate from college that it'll get better. I think that I have to learn to use my time.
Okay, so you think
More.
it's more of a managing what you have now as opposed to waiting for the situation to change?
Yeah, because if you waited for everything to be perfect for you, then
It never happened.
it
Yeah,
never happens.
definitely.
So you gotta force it and like.
All right, I respect that.
Yeah.
So you said you had an imaginative style before. What would you call your style now?
I think before I used to write about, the things that I imagined, and my writing would be very limited because, I'm not very familiar in these made up things, and though you could easily make these things up, it kind of limited me. Now I think I write more about the things that I know and the things that I'm passionate about. So,
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
And so, do you have anything like in the works right now as far as like novels, or is it all more short articles and editorials and things like that?
Well, right now I'm writing short articles for the Odyssey, and then I'm doing a lot of analysis on my blog,
Mhm.
on my literary blog. But right now I am working on a short story.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you divulge any details?
I can.
you
I
can?
can. It's called Lamenting Over My Hair, and it's such a pretentious title, but
I like it. Honestly, if I saw that in like Barnes and Nobles, I'd at least open it.
Lamenting Over My Hair.
Lamenting
And
over
it's
my hair.
basically about how I felt that I wasn't really a part of my African American culture until I cut off my permed hair and went natural.
Really?
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it like more of a memoir, or is it like a?
it's gonna be like a fictionalized account. Kind of.
Okay, I get
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, how much of your real life experience is gonna go into that story?
Most of my real life experience is just gonna come from the fact that the character cuts her hair,
Really?
and then her thought process about it.
Okay.
Everything else is gonna be fictionalized.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so, I know you mentioned you mentioned your blog, but what's the actual like where people can find you?
Oh, like on social media? And stuff?
Yeah, on social media. If you want to plug anything.
Well, my blog is Adoring a Good Story at WordPress?
WordPress?
No, it's Blogger.
Wow, you're throwing it back to like 2010. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I wonder, because I was always wondered how many people actually still use Blogger, because I feel like WordPress killed Blogger, and then Tumblr killed WordPress, and then people went back to WordPress because they were hipsters.
I like Blogger just because I prefer the format.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, what was it again?
Adoring a Good Story.
Adoring a Good Story.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
And we'll have all the links and stuff in the description of wherever this gets posted.
Yes.
But
Stalk
and
me.
do you have any other social media that you want to promote? Like your.
So unfortunately, we ran out of time, but her Instagram, if she wants it in the description, will be in the description below. Her WordPress will be there as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Katie, for being on the show. As always, a pleasure. Like I said, I have some announcements for you guys. Depending on when this gets posted, we will have more information about Godhand Magazine being released. The events section of our Facebook page should be up and running by now. So check that out for any and all events hosted and sponsored. Not sponsored, but you know what I mean, by Godhand. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. Go back and check out the other episodes if you haven't already. Subscribe or follow us on SoundCloud, I guess. And just be sure to stick with us. We got a lot coming for you guys. I really appreciate everyone who's listened up until this point. You guys are loved, definitely. That about does it for me here. Thank you guys so much. Tune in next week. We are Godhand. Have a nice day.